Sabri Bogday was a barber. He had spent long years in Saudi Arabia. He did not speak Arabic. His family was there. And he was accused by, I guess, a poisonous friend of having cursed, taken the name of the Lord in vain in a quarrel in his barber shop. It's the kind of epithet that would be protected by the First Amendment under any nation that subscribes to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And he was charged, nevertheless, with blasphemy, conversion, if you will, apostasy from Islam in Saudi Arabian courts or tribunals, if you will. He was not provided a lawyer, he was not provided a translator, and he was found guilty. On appeal, that verdict was affirmed, and he's been sentenced to be beheaded. So certainly this is the kind of case that you would expect the Western voices to appear and denounce, because the clear starkness of the penalty and the injustice of criminalizing speech that would be protected in an ordinary nation. Now, there has been, however, relative silence, and I think the urgency of Western intervention is underscored by the contrast with what has happened in similar situations when it's been Christians who have been accused of defiling, desacralizing the Quran or the Holy Prophet. And in those cases, several had occurred in Pakistan years ago, the Christians were sentenced to death. I think there was one case of a teenager who had accidentally stepped on a Quran. And these punishments were either forgiven or dismissed after the international community voiced very strong objection. And for the West now to remain silent when the circumstances seem the same with regard to injustice, the only difference being the one defendant is a Muslim and the others were Christians, seems to reinforce those who would try to foment jihads, hatred, resentment against the West by saying, this is really not a war against terrorism, it's a war against Islam. And that is simply a risk that we shouldn't take, especially when a protest is thoroughly consistent with the tradition of the West of being a beacon of human rights, of freedom.